Hello, my name is Gabriel from GabakUSA. In this video we are going to talk about file structures and path. This is very important, so that way if you have to search for files or folders or anything like that, also it will be good if you are an end user, or maybe if you're a computer technician or whatever you want to be. This will be very useful. So this is the continuation of this series, how to become a computer technician. So if you want to get your certification, a CompTIA A+, so this will be very good for you. So we are going to see a little of practice, and then theory, practice, theory, practice, theory, so that way you can learn. And also what I recommend you is, if you can grab a computer, get the computer and try to follow the video. So if you can do it at the same time, that is wonderful. Also, if you can get the things that you're going to need is a Mac computer or Windows computer and a Linux computer, or if you can virtualize everything, that will be great as well. If you don't know how to do that, you can watch another of my videos, or you can request it on the comments. So being said all those things, so let's start with the files and the structure. So we're going to see what is root, what is folders, subfolders, Windows. We are going to see different programs that it will help you to identify and to copy and paste and do all the things. So if you have to move files around, you have to search for them. So you're going to use any of these programs that I'm saying here. Windows Explorer or File Explorer is the same thing. And then we are going to see other things. So let's start for the basic, and then I'm going to jump in with the computer. So that is why I have the chair here. So we are going to use it in a little bit. So when you talk about a hard drive, let's say that a hard drive is a box. So we are going to keep things simple. Later on in another chapters, another videos, we're going to go in deeply in this section. But for now, we are going to call it very simple. So we are going to have box 1. It will be box C on Windows. They call it like that. It should be, or it will be drive C, drive D, drive E, and so on. So that is what you're going to find. And if you have maybe Mac, you're going to find Macintosh HD. So that is how they call the drives. They don't use letters, they name it something else, so like drives. So for now we are going to say they are drives. And then if you have Linux, it will be the same thing. So it will be drive, and they have a different way so you can identify them. But we are going to talk about that later on in another chapter. So for now we are going to keep it very simple. So we have C, and we have a box. So like I said before, in this box is where you put all your things. So let's say that you want to put tools, and then you say, okay, I have screwdrivers, I have hammers, I have different sizes and everything else. And then you say, well, yes, I'm going to put everything together. But the thing is, it will be hard. I mean, if you have maybe a bag full of tools, and then you have to start searching for them, it will take you a long time to search maybe for that little tiny screwdriver. So that will be the same thing with a computer. So if you have to start searching manually, it will take you a long time. Instead, if you know where are the files, that will be faster, of course. Even if you tell the computer, yeah, I don't care, search in the whole hard drive. If the hard drive is very big and it has a lot of files and folders, and you say, okay, search whole hard drive, it will take longer than if you tell to the computer, no, search inside of this specific folder. That way it will search faster. So that is what we are going to do. So now I'm going to erase here a little bit in this example. I was working in my other channel, in the Spanish channel, so I was doing the same thing. But now I'm going to delete a little bit. I'm going to explain you the same example. So here we have the box. In this case, we have Windows. That is why we have the W here. Maybe you don't see it, but here is the W. And here we have, let's say, Linux, or we have Mac, or OS X. So Mac, there you go, Mac. Okay, it doesn't matter. It will be OS X or Mac, like I said before, OS X. There you go. So here is the whole box, as you can see right now. So if you want to search for files, or if you want to start creating files, folders, and everything else, so let's say that you have screwdrivers. Then you say, okay, I'm going to create some kind of compartment, or some kind of compartment, like I said, or maybe a folder in this case, where you're going to store the hammers. So, and then let's say, okay, folder 1, H, hammers, and then folder 2, screwdrivers. You say, oh, great, I have those things, wonderful. So the same way it works with Windows. That is what I'm going to explain now in a little bit. So if you say, okay, I have a small hammer and a big hammer, so then you can say, okay, I'm going to create another folder, so that way is how you're going to organize the things. So here we can say, okay, we're going to create two folders, additional folders. It will be a hammer B, a big hammer, okay, big B, H, big hammer, and then S, H, small hammer. So that way you have it separately. And you can do the same thing, screwdrivers, and then you can do small drivers, and then small or big. In this case, it will be big screwdrivers, and that way you have it like that. And on Linux, you can do exactly the same. You can divide it, and then you create folder 1, folder 2, and if you want another folder, maybe you can create, okay, folder something else. Let's say 1A, 2B, and here we can create 1C and 1D, something like that. So that way, that is how it's going to work. So the root, this will be the root. The root will be the whole box, and the other compartment will be the folders, and the subcompartment will be the subfolders. So you can have as many subfolders as you want. So let's say that for now. There is certain limitations, but we're going to talk about in another chapter. So for now, for most end user, let's say, is almost endless or unlimited. Okay, so here we have the root. So here in this example it was good. So this is the root. So we have program files, we have users. Here I'm going to show you users, in this case Gabe. So we can continue with the same example. I'm going to erase this, and then I'm going to show you this. So here we create H, and then we are going to create S, let's say. It's something like that. And then after that, we are going to create, like I said, a big hammer, and then we can create another big hammer, and then we can create another folder inside of that one is a small hammer. So you can do the same thing. So here we can say exactly the same. So S, and then we create one that says S small hammer, and then another one big a screwdriver. I mean, I'm sorry, a screwdriver. So that is the thing. It's a small screwdriver. It doesn't matter the name. You can put names. I mean, you can write letters, numbers, and whatever. So that is the thing. So I'm going to show you on the computer, so that way it will be easier for you to understand. So we are going to show you the drive. So and then we are going to start talking about the folders and all those things. So I'm going to show you. Okay, now we have Windows, so we have the drive. So this is what we are going to try to recreate in this Windows machine. So we have C, we have H, and then inside of EH we have VH, and then we have SH, and then we have S, and then another folder is called SS, and then BS. So we are going to create all those things. So now what you have to do is right click on the mouse and then folder, and then we are going to create one that says H, and then enter again, and then we are going to create the other one that says BH. There you go, BH. And then we are going to create another one that says SH. There you go. And there you have it. You have all the examples. So here is the example. We have H, BH, it will be hammer, big hammer, small hammer. So that is what we have done in the example. So I'm going to show you. So as you can see, we have H, and then we have BH, big hammer, small hammer, and where you go. You see, it was very simple to create it. So once you are inside, you don't have anything else. But if you want to create maybe a folder or maybe a document or something like that, we can create whatever we want. So we are going to see the same thing here on the CLI, command line interface, or the terminal. So if we type there, so here we are going to see the H. I'm going to mark it so you can see it. There you go. We have the H, and then we type CD H, and then there, and then we see the folder that we just created. So I'm not going to teach you how you can do all those things right now. We're going to see these things later on, but the idea is that you can do the same thing with the program that is all the one that has the graphical interface, or you can do everything with the command line. So if you want to start typing, you can do everything typing like I showed you before. So that is the idea, so that you can create many folders, many documents, and everything. So the reason for all this is so you can understand better. It will be good if you can practice, create, delete, and all the things. Also, I'm going to show you the Windows. So how you are going to handle all those things is with Windows. So like I said before, we have Windows Explorer and we have File Explorer. Windows Explorer was Windows 7, Windows Vista, and also in the older versions it was called Windows Explorer. In the new ones they are called File Explorer. It's the same thing, they change just the name. It's basically that's it. So we're going to see now, so you can see what I'm saying. So this is what I created. I mean, this is the program that I was just saying. So if you don't know how to run it, it's very easy. Usually it will be here on the bottom. If you click once, you open it up, or if you don't know what it is, because maybe someone deleted it or something like that, you can go to the round button or the start button, and then you right click, and then you can click here where it says Windows Explorer, and that way you can have it. So yeah, it didn't work. It did work, but because it was open already, it didn't open another one. But here I'm going to show you. If you do that, you can create and start playing with this. I mean, this. I'm going to teach you this Windows, and then we have program files, and then we have users. So that is very important. I'm going to teach you right away. So now we have programs. Programs is where all the programs are installed. That is where they reside. So if you have Windows 64-bit, you're going to find that you're going to have these program files. So all the programs are going to be installed here, the 32-bit version, of course, and the 64-bit, it will be in the same thing, but it will end on x86. So that is x86. So that is the ending of that file, that folder. So that is what you have to think. So this, if you're thinking, well, why do I need this? Well, this is very important. In case if you have some virus, or maybe you have to remove something and it's not working, the installer, the software that will install or maybe repair or something like that, you may say, well, I'll try to delete it manually. Usually it's not a good idea, but if there is no other way, and maybe you have a virus and you want to get rid of it, that would be one way. So I have a video that I teach how to remove virus. If you want to see it, let me know. I can add it in the description of this video. It's like 2 hours long, but it's very good. It will help you to understand all these things, how to handle files and everything else. So I'm going to show you these 2 folders, so that way you are going to know where they are. So here we are with the Windows Explorer. So these 2 folders, that is what you're going to find if you have a 64-bit version. So if you don't know if you have a 64-bit version or not, you just right click on computer, and then you go to properties, and then you will see it. Here, as you can see, it says 64-bit version. So that is the operating system that we are running right now. So that is very important. You have those things. Now we're going to show you where to find the documents. So this is very important. So if you have to make a backup of your computer or your customer computer, and you're thinking, well, I don't know where the customer saves all their documents and all the things, you're going to search for user Gabe desktop. So I'm going to draw the example. So here it will be this will be the perfect example. So here we'll have, let's say, okay, let's start here with Windows. So here we have Windows, here we have program files, and then here we have a user, and then slash Gabe in this example, and then desktop. So that is what you're going to find. So this will be the example. You have the box, like I said before, Windows, programs, program files, and then users, Gabe, desktop, something else. So if the customer say, hey, my user is Gabe, and you have to save all my desktop, all the things that I have in the desktop, all the things that I have, all my pictures and my music, and I don't care anything else, you start searching the way I'm going to show you right now. If the customer say, yes, save everything, and then you just copy everything. You grab the Gabe folder, and then you copy in an external hard drive or somewhere else, and then that way you can grab it. The thing is, if you try to use the same Windows to copy the whole user, maybe you will see some error, because you're still using Windows. Some files are not going to be able to be copied because of that. There is a workaround. It will be remove the hard drive, install it in another computer that has Windows already, and then you can copy the files. Don't get confused with the other Windows, of course. or you can boot up with a live CD, Ubuntu CD. If you don't know about that, let me know. I'll try to make another video about this. And then that way you can copy all the folders and files and then copy it to another place. The bad thing is that you're going to lose the attributes if the folders has some permission or something like that, or attributes. You're going to lose it. But we're going to talk about that later on, so don't get confused. So that is what I'm going to show you right now, so you can see it. So here, as you can see, we have users, and then we have Jose here. So let's say we want to copy this, and then maybe we have to save pictures, and then maybe music. And then you just select those files, like I said before, and then that's it. If the customer said, no, just copy my music and my pictures, that's it. That is all you copy. And if you want to copy everything else, you just drag and drop or just copy. And then you go to the other drive and then paste, and that's it. So that is all you have to do. But I'm going to show you, as you can see here, we have just one dash here. That is one user, is called dash. We have the other, is called Jose, and we're going to create another one so you can see how it works. So we're going to control panel, and then we're going here. I hope you have seen the other video that I was talking about that, about the environment, the graphic, the user interface. So we are going to create here user account, and then manage another account. So in this case, we are going to create Gabe, so you can see it. So we are going to create Gabe, create account. Here we have it. So you're going to say, okay, great, wonderful. What happened? There is no Gabe. Why is not like that? I mean, what is it? The reason is that you don't see any Gabe here is because the user wasn't created yet. When it's going to be created? When we switch to that user. So we have to switch users, and then once we click on Gabe, it's going to prepare your desktop and everything else. So it will take a while. So if you have a very old computer, I recommend you to install a SSD drive. That way it will be faster. Otherwise, you are going to wait. Here we are. Remember, here we are going to click on the File Explorer or Windows Explorer, and we're going to the C drive. In this case, it will be the big box that I said before. We're going to Users, and you see, oh, Gabe is here. Great, wonderful. We have Jose and we have Dash as well. So we're going to change again, and we're going to change user. We are going to return to the Jose. Yeah, we can type the Jose one. And now, as you can see, we have Gabe again. So we click here, say you don't have permissions, and here we will have to type our password if we want to access, or if we don't, because this is a standard user, we are going to change. I don't want to confuse you with the permissions and everything else, but let's start with the Dash. Dash is the administrator, so he can see everything. If we want to see Jose, we can see it. If we want to see Gabe, it will say that we don't have the permission, but because we are administrator, we can see everything, and that way we can copy everything. So let's say that I want to copy the folder. Maybe I want to copy in the other user, because I'm going to delete the Gabe user, like I said before, and then you can go here, and then you just copy and paste, and that's it. So that way I have the desktop of the other user. So that is very important, like I said before. That is why I mean, you have to be very clear when you start playing with the files and everything. Don't get confused. If you're going to practice with your computer, not someone else's computer. That way you will not mess up someone else's computer. You won't get into trouble. So that is basically it. Well, what we were talking here on the whiteboard. So we are going to jump on the different operating systems, so you can see the difference. So I'm going to show you here. As you can see, we have Finder. This is the HD Macintosh HD. This is the name, like I said before. Remember here, I hope you remember. So on Windows we have C. We have C drives. On Mac we have just drive. Just let's call it like that. So that is the difference. So we don't have the C drive. So I'm going to show you, remind you, just in case if you just forgot that, we're going to open. As you can see, we have C drive, very important, that is the name. So we're going to open up here Finder, and here we have the it will be like the C drive. As you can see here, we have the drive, we have all the applications. It will be applications where we have all the software, the programs. So it will be like programs, program files, like in Windows. We have the system, and here we have the user. So this is the basics. If you have to save all the information, it will be the same example, the same thing. So I'm going to show you a little bit on the terminal. So here it will be the same thing, like I said before. I'm going to delete the screen. So here we have to type different things. So I typed PWD. We can see here we have users and then Gabe. If we want to see something else, maybe we have to type LS, and then we will see applications, desktop, and everything else. So if we type cd dot again, and then you will see now we are on the root. So that will be the root. If we type LC, we are going to see application, library, network, and we are going to see more things because we can see hidden folders and files, but we are going to talk about that in another chapter, so not in this one. But this is the thing. If I type cd users and then enter ls, and then I'm going to see guest, share, A123, and Gabe. So those are the folders that you see, the same thing that you see on the terminal, the same thing that you're going to see here. So it's basically the same thing. So now we're going to try to use another operating system. We have Windows 10. I'm going to show you. Here we are going to close this. We have this is a file explorer, so that is very basic. If we do right click, you will see here it says file explorer. It doesn't say Windows Explorer. And here we have the C, and we have everything else is the same thing. So the test, public, if we have to create another user, we can create it as well, no problem. I'm going to show you something that it may interest you because this is in the Spanish, in case if you're thinking, well, how is it in the Spanish? Because maybe if you're in US or maybe you're in another country, you're going to find that there are many people from Spain, or maybe if you're here in US, usually most people are going to be from Mexico, or maybe South America, or maybe another country that speaks Spanish, except Brazil. So you're going to say, okay, no problem. Yeah, I think I can repair a computer. It doesn't matter if it is from someone who speaks Spanish or maybe another language. And you're going to say, well, I'm going to do the same thing, but you're going to find different folders, different names, so at least on the graphic interface, on the GUI. So I'm going to show you this. So that is something important. So here where you see archivos de programas, it means programs file. And the same thing with the other one that says program files is archivo programas x86. So you're going to find basically the same thing. If you go here where it says usuarios, you're going to find the users inside, so it doesn't change, but you're going to see the name change. The only name that doesn't change is Windows. Windows remains the same. So if you want to go to the terminal, you type CMD and then enter, and then you will see this. And then when you see that, you're going to say, well, here, if you type there, you're going to say, oh, what happened here? Why I have a different name? Because it's not the same name. You can see here, if you see, we have program files x86, and we have users. So that means that the user interface is showing something different than the real thing. So the real thing, it will be program files, users, but when you're using the graphic interface, it will be different. So that is very important to know. So now what we're going to try to use, it will be Ubuntu. So we're going to try to use that. I'm going to run it, so that way I have it in the other screen. There you go. So we have Gabak. We're going to enter, and this, we have a drive. Like I said before, remember, we don't have C on Linux. C or D and all those names is only for Windows. On Mac, on Linux, we have, for now, we are going to call them drives, and that's it. Like I said before, okay, we have computer. Computer, we are going to see home instead of being called users. It's called home, so that is the difference. Here we have Gabak, and here we have Jose. It will be the same thing. So if you see the difference, here we have users, and with the other one will be home. So that is the basic, and it will be the same thing. If we want to create another user, it will be, until we don't enter in the user, it will be a little bit different. I want to show you. So now that we are here, we're going to user account. We're going to close this. So I'm going to show you. Now we are here. We are going to unlock. We type the password, and then we are try to create another user. In this case, it will be called Gabe, standard user. Yes, great. Now we have to enable the account, so we can set the password, or we can leave it without password. So we are going to leave it without password. In this case, we're making a test, of course. In the real life, surely it will be better if we can install a password as well. So we're going files, so that way we're going to see everything. We're going to home, and then we have Gabe, and you say, oh, we have Gabe, and you click and you say, what is Gabe? I see Gabe, but I see example, and that's it. I mean, what is all the documents and everything else? So it's the same thing as before. So I'm going to show you. We click Gabe, we don't see anything, so we go back, and then we are going to change the user, and once we change the user, you see that everything will be created. So I'm going to click on Gabe, and now it's going to take a little bit. Like I said before, it takes a while. If you don't have a SSD drive, it will be slower. Great, wonderful. So we are on Gabe as well. So we have Gabak, Gabe, Jose. So if we go here on files, and then we go computer, or the drive, in this case, like I said, we are going to search for home, and then we go Gabe, and then we have everything. Wonderful, magic. So I'm going to change. I'm going to Gabak again. It will ask us for a password. Great, password, enter, that's it. So now we are on Gabak, as you can see. So if we go to Gabe, now we are going to see all the folders that wasn't there. So that is basically that's it. I hope you have understood all these concepts. I know there is a lot of information, but if you practice and practice and practice and practice many hours, many days, you are going to be able to master it. So this is very basic, but it's very important if you're going to start making backups, you're going to start working with customers and everything else. So this is very important where you can find everything. So it will help you to search faster, organize all the things faster, and that way you can do everything better. Like I said before, if you want any other of my computer classes, you can go to my website as well, GabakUSA.com. Also, if you have any question, you can leave it in the comment, or you can go to the forum as well. And what I recommend, if you are going to start for the first time before doing the certification, getting the certification and all the things, what I would recommend is if you can get a computer with Windows, powerful. If you can get the 4 cores, 8 gigs or 16 gigs of RAM, it will be better. If you can, so that way you can virtualize and you can do many things. If you're going to use Mac and you say, well, I don't want to spend a lot of money on the Mac, get at least 2016. You can get the 2010 Core 2 Duo. Yeah. You can get one of those, 4 gigs of RAM minimum. That way you can, you're going to spend like $300. So at least in that computer, it will allow you to install the latest operating system. It's called El Capitan. The recommendation will be this. If you're going in the future, or if you're going to see this video, I don't know, 2020 or something like that, and you say, well, 2010 is too old. Okay. Buy the latest, let's say this way, grab the one old computer that you can install the latest operating system. So that will be my advice. So if you are going to play with cell phone, trying to transfer file from an iPhone to a computer, to a Mac, at least today, 2016, try to get a computer 2012. You can do all those things if you're going to get a notebook. So grab a notebook, buy a notebook that you can install the latest operating system. So that will be my advice. Otherwise, if you want an iMac or something else, grab something else. So what I'm saying is $300 is very cheap. You can buy used on eBay. So that will be my recommendation. On Ubuntu, yeah, I mean Linux, you can install at least in almost any computer, so you can grab almost any computer. What I would recommend, minimum it will be 2 cores, 4 gigs of RAM. Ubuntu usually consumes a lot of resources. So that being said, you can do, if you want, like a virtualization, that will be my take. If you're going to use Mac and you say, well, I'm going to use boot camps so I can install dual boot Windows and then OS X, and I can use them at the same time, I don't recommend that, because it will be a pain to try to grab or to get the drivers for Windows, so you can use the Mac. So if you can buy a computer with Windows, and then a Mac will be great. Or in worst case scenario, get a good Mac, very powerful, and then try to use some virtualization program, maybe VirtualBox or maybe something like that. VirtualBox is free, or if you want to buy something else, buy something else. So I hope you have enjoyed this class. Remember, click like, subscribe to my channel, and see you next class. Bye. Okay, I'm back. I forgot something, so I'm going to share with you a nice experience that I found a website that you can run Windows 95 and you can practice a little bit. So I'm going to show you a few things that I would like to share with you before I leave. So one of the things was, when you have users and then you have the backslash and the name and all those things. So you have different ways how to present that on Windows 7. So now I'm going to show you on Windows 7, and then we're going to see Windows 95. So let's change of screen. So as you can see here, something that I would like to share with you before I leave is this. So as you can see here, we have the backslash, and then if I go elsewhere, you will see these little arrows here. So that is one way to present it, a different way maybe. So when you click here, you will see the real things the same way how you can see it here on the terminal. So if I type cd users and then cd Gabe, let's say, I don't remember here which one was public in this one, or test. Yeah, let's type cd test. There you go. So you will see here the backslash everywhere. So now we're going to show you Windows 95 and this website that I found. So it was interesting. So if you want it, I can leave it in the description of this video. So we click here where it says start, and then we click OK, and then we are going to click on full screen. So that way you're going to see how it loads and everything else, and we are going to see the sound. We are going to hear the sound. There you go. So even this is very important, because if you find something like that, something very old, you still have Windows Explorer, as you can see, but you're not going to see users, like I said before. So you're going to have these windows, and if you're thinking, well, what happened if I make a folder here? How do I find it if I don't have the user? So I'm going to make one, let's say, and then you're going to search for here for the desktop, and you're going to find a surprise that you don't see. You see, a few little folders, and that's it. So the way to solve this is you go to view, you go to options. Basically it's almost the same thing with everything else, and then you click show all files, and here we can type display the full Microsoft DOS path as well. And then there you go. Now we have more folders, and here we have the desktop. So you can see here on the left, I have the desktop. Here I have the 11, that is the number that I create. If I create something like here, like I showed before, something like that, and you will see automatically the same thing. So basically that's it. So it was nice. In case if you find something that is very old, remember and hide everything so you can see everything. Also you can boot up maybe with a live CD, or maybe if you have a computer that is that old, just remove the hard drive, install it in a new computer, copy all the data, and the way you go, and you fix it the way you want it. So I hope it was useful. Remember, click and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.